Hello, I'm Dr. Nasreen Sultana, a teaching and learning consultant at Conestoga College. Today, in this video, I'm going to discuss some examples of the cultural continuum. I will focus on collectivist versus individualist culture, relationship-based versus task-based culture, and polychronic culture versus monochronic culture. Please note that the intention here is not to judge any culture or countries. Instead, we would like to highlight the behaviors and attitudes of students from different cultures to support the journey in college classrooms. These general ideas may only be valid for some students because students come from different cultures and backgrounds. For example, two students from a collectivist culture, one from a remote part of the country and the other from a megacity, will have different attitudes and understandings in the classroom. Let us begin with collectivism versus individualism. In the context of a classroom, collectivist and individualist cultures can influence teaching and learning dynamics in distinct ways. Here are some examples. One of the first differences you may experience in the classroom is that students from collectivist cultures may demonstrate higher respect for the teachers. They may call you sir, ma'am, madam, professor. These students often may not feel comfortable asking a question in the classroom and may end up doing a task completely wrong because they did not ask for clarification. Asking a question may appear to question the authority of the teacher, and they wouldn't want to do that. These students will avoid direct criticism because losing face is critical in their cultural orientation. In fear of losing face, they may hesitate to participate in the class discussion. You may notice students will try not to make direct eye contact with you whenever you ask a question. On the other hand, there is a strong emphasis on developing critical thinking skills in the Academy of Individualistic Culture, which is in North America and in Canadian classrooms. Students are encouraged to question, debate, and express their own opinions, even if they differ from those of the teacher or peers. Please note that the students also have been practicing this from an early age. So it will be beneficial if you start practicing engagement techniques from week 1 of the semester. And this will be helpful for all students we have in our college classrooms. This brings us to the point of unintended collaboration. Students from collectivist cultures often do not realize the difference between plagiarized work and original work. The value of collectivist culture lies in group harmony. People always and usually do not want to disrupt the relationships that they have with other people in the group. That's why some students may feel okay or may feel pressurized to do the work for another person or student because they value or are expected to value the relationships they share with other people in the same group or community. For example, a particular student may feel obligated to help another student from the same community. It also depends on their previous academic experiences. For example, a student who always has passed the exam by memorizing definitions from the textbook will suddenly feel at a loss if they are asked to create the original work because they are not trained to do so. Students may unintentionally end up copying the materials. So from the beginning of the semester, we must start talking about plagiarism, its consequences, and our expectations in the Canadian context of the classroom. On the other hand, students from collectivist cultures are often encouraged to excel independently. Personal achievements and individual grades are highly valued in this culture. These students work in groups but also understand the importance of contributions in group work. Most of the students from individualist cultures are also trained to work in a group, unlike their counterparts. An interesting fact is that even though a collectivist culture values community building, most students from this culture are not explicitly trained to work in a group work. This is connected with the idea of relationship versus task-based culture, another idea related to collectivist culture. In a collectivist culture, the given task may suffer because people may end up giving more importance to the intra-group relationship they have than the task itself. This is also connected to the idea of unintended and intended plagiarism in a group assignment. For example, in a group work, one student may end up doing all the work and will be okay to share the credit with the rest. Another example could be that students may not be critical of each other's contributions for fear of spoiling the relationships they have, whereas the quality of the task may suffer. Because of these challenges, students from collectivist and individualist cultures may not like to work with each other. Still, if a faculty can make them work together, it will be a learning moment for all students in the classroom. You also may experience students from collectivist cultures struggling with deadlines and time management, because most of them are also from polychronic culture. In contrast, students from individualist cultures are primarily monochronic. For them, deadlines are important. In a polychronic culture, time is fluid, and it is okay to be late. Nobody gets annoyed if someone is late for something. For example, if you ever get to visit a South Asian community party, you will see that most of the people are late and everybody is okay with this as well. To integrate the values of Canadian classrooms, students may take some time, but if a faculty is aware of the techniques and continues supporting the students in learning the values of Canadian cultures and classrooms, slowly, most of the students will learn this. This learning will be helpful for them in the professional world as well. In conclusion, I want to remind you all that culture is one of the most complex concepts you will ever encounter. Even though I try to simplify the concepts here, they're complex because they are contextual and keep changing, shaping, and evolving. Also, cultural values change based on generations. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check out our website for more workshops and resources about teaching in the classroom.